now part 2 of suboccipital triangle. Now I am drawing muscles and boundaries of the suboccipital triangle. First I am drawing one membrane here, membrane between the posterior margin of foramen magnum and the superior border of this posterior arch of the atlas. This membrane is called posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. This membrane is called posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. Posterior atlanto-occipital membrane from the posterior margin of foramen magnum to the posterior border of the posterior arch of atlas, posterior atlanto-occipital membrane, which forms the floor of the suboccipital triangle. Now I am drawing the muscles. First one, from origin of the posterior tubercle of atlas, posterior tubercle of atlas, the fibers going upward. Okay, I am drawing like that here and here. Muscle which origin from the posterior tubercle of atlas and inserted on medial part of the inferior knuckle line and area of the bone below it. Here it is inserted, the medial part of this inferior knuckle line and area of the bone below it. This muscle is called rectus capitis posterior minor. Rectus capitis posterior minor. And another one which origin from this tendinous origin from this spine of axis. This one is the bifid spine of axis and which is inserted here. So we can identify two muscles. This one is rectus capitis posterior minor and on lateral side rectus capitis posterior major. Rectus capitis posterior major, rectus capitis posterior major, which origin from the spine of axis vertebrae, this fiber going upward and backward, which is inserted on this lateral part of the inferior knuckle line, lateral part of this inferior knuckle line and area of the bone below it. Now third muscle which origin from the spine of axis and inserted on transverse process of atlas vertebrae. Origin from spine of axis and inserted on the transverse process of atlas vertebrae, and this muscle is called obliquus capitis inferior. Obliquus capitis inferior. This muscle is called obliquus capitis inferior. This one is. And fourth one, which is origin from the transverse process of atlas vertebrae going upward and medially, this fiber going upward medially and inserted between the superior and inferior knuckle line on lateral side. So superior oblique muscle or the obliquus capitis superior, this one is obliquus capitis superior, obliquus capitis superior muscle, which origin from the transverse process of atlas vertebrae going upward and inserted the area of the bone between the superior and inferior knuckle line on lateral side. And medially here is the site of insertion of semispinalis capitis. Here is the site of insertion of semispinalis capitis. Now we can identify here is the triangle. It is called suboccipital triangle, which is bounded by supromedially rectus capitis posterior major mainly, which is supplemented by the rectus capitis posterior minor. Supralaterally it is bounded by obliquus capitis superior, and inferiorly it is bounded by the obliquus capitis inferior. So this one is inferior boundary, obliquus capitis inferior. This triangle it is called suboccipital triangle. Roof of the triangle, it is formed by the two muscle. I am drawing on the right side the roof of the triangle. This muscle, it is called semispinalis capitis, which origin from the transverse process and articular process from the lower cervical and upper thoracic vertebrae, and this muscle which is inserted between the superior and inferior knuckle line on medial side, the part of the bone between this superior and inferior knuckle line on medial side, and this muscle is called semispinalis capitis. This one is called semispinalis semispinalis capitis. Along with the semispinalis capitis, lateral to it another one which form this roof. I am drawing it, and this one is longissimus capitis. Which is inserted along with this sternocleidomastoid and splenius capitis at the mastoid process. This is called longissimus capitis. So these two muscle on medial side semispinalis capitis, and on lateral side longissimus capitis, which form the roof of this suboccipital triangle. When we cut and reflect these two muscle, we can identify this suboccipital triangle. Now about the floor of this triangle, which is formed by the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. Here is the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane, and the posterior arch of atlas. Here is the posterior arch of atlas, which form the floor of this triangle. Again, division of this boundary of the triangle. Supromedially it is bounded by the rectus capitis posterior major along with this rectus capitis posterior minor. Supralaterally it is bounded by obliquus capitis superior, and inferiorly it is bounded by the obliquus capitis inferior. The floor, it is formed by the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane along with this posterior arch of atlas, and roof, it is formed medially, it is formed by the rectus capitis, semispinalis capitis and the longissimus capitis, two muscle which form this roof of the triangle. So this one is the end of the second part of the suboccipital triangle.